This week, we begin reading from the Torah from the very beginning, once again, from Sefer Bereishit. And this is really appropriate because we have just finished the high holidays and working on ourselves and trying to be better people. And the best way to do that is to start from reading from the Torah, from the very beginning of creation, the beginning of creation of mankind, and learn what lessons we can from there. And that's why I'm going to begin by talking about Adam and Chava and their sin. God had told Adam not to eat from the tree of knowledge, good and evil, when he was in Gan Eden. And it ended up that he did eat from the tree. And long story short, God confronts him and says, "Have you eaten from the tree of knowledge, good and evil?" And Adam says, to God, "Well, the woman that you gave me, and so I ate." And here he doesn't take culpability. And not just that, he blames Chava. And not just that, he blames God because God gave him Chava as a helpmate. And they didn't acknowledge their sin. And so they get kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Next thing you know, they have children, Cain and Hevel, who seemingly are twins from the Pasuk. And Cain is a farmer. He works the fields, and Hevel is a shepherd. Now, Cain decides to give up an offering to God. God doesn't accept it. Hevel brings up an offering too, but he brings from the best of his flock, and God accepts Hevel's offering. Cain is livid, and God comes to Cain and says, "Don't be upset. It's okay. Fix your ways and everything will be okay. And if not, sin is waiting for you." And Cain does not listen because he's too angry. He has words with his brother Hevel. He murders his brother. And again, God comes and approaches Cain and asks him, where is his brother? Giving him a chance to own up to his sin. And he says, really chutzpahdik, even worse than Adam, Shomer Achi Anochi, am I my brother's keeper? Blaming God for the fact that Hevel's dead. In essence, saying, your God give people life. Why do you let me murder? If you don't want murder to exist in this world, what you could have intervened, your God. And that's one of these major problems people have is they don't understand why God allows murder. And that's what he was posing to God. And this was, again, not taking culpability for his own actions, for his own sins. And in relaying the story, there's two things that I want to point out. First of all, it's really interesting. We know that Adam worked the land because when he got his punishment, God says that the land won't yield its fruit unless through the sweat of your brow. So Adam was someone who worked the land. And Chava, as we know, because when we see when Adam named Chava, it says he named her that because she's Aim Kol Chai, the mother of all living things. Meaning she's not just the mother to Cain and Hevel, she took care of all the animal life. She was an aim, she was a mother, she was a giver. And she gave her love and attention, time to all the animals. And apparently Hevel took after her because he was a shepherd. He was shepherding. And so you see that just like God had given Adam Chava as a helpmate, he also blessed Cain and Hevel to be each other, to be with each other, brothers, and to give them an opportunity also to rectify the sin. They had different talents, different abilities, and they should have worked together, and they didn't do that. They didn't improve on the the actions of their parents or learn from it, and even worse, there was murder. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that if we don't work on ourselves to be better, it's not just not working ourselves. Things get worse with time. Things get worse in the generations. It's very important, first of all, right away, as we also learned from David and Melch, take responsibility. As much as it hurts when you do something wrong, it should be your knee-jerk reaction to when you feel it, because you have that pangs of guilt. You know you did wrong. Knee-jerk, just I was wrong. And then silence yourself and think a little bit. Because once you start defending yourself, you're getting deeper in. you're getting deeper in, and you're making things worse for yourself. And you pass that on, and it gets harder with time, and it gets harder with generations. And so when we're trying to do better, we're coming out of the high holidays. We want to be better people. We're going to fall right away. It's going to happen. We're human. But we should practice this. Practice saying, I was wrong. When you feel you were wrong, I was wrong. It doesn't, make you a bad person to make mistakes. It makes you a bad person to deny the mistakes. So I think everything we have to learn about culpability. I think it's such an important lesson nowadays. People have such a hard time saying they're wrong. They think it makes them less of a person. It doesn't. It takes a huge person to own up to their mistakes. And everybody makes mistakes. It takes a egotistical, narcissistic person to think that they'll never be wrong. And just, we don't look better when we try and hide it. We end up looking really bad, and we end up getting ourselves deeper and deeper and passing it on to everybody around us. So that's my message for today is let's learn how to say I was wrong and know that there's nothing wrong with being wrong some of the time. That's it. That's my message. Shabbat Shalom.